Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the hidden stories in financial filings. This week, we're diving into XCF Global's latest report, and let me tell you, it's a wild ride involving huge loans, overdue payments, and a fight for survival. So XCF Global is a company operating in the sustainable aviation fuel or SAF industry, and their subsidiary New Rise Renewables New Rise Reno has some serious financial trouble. They owe a massive amount of money to Greater Nevada Credit Union or GNCU. We're talking over $11-12 million in loans. These loans were actually backed by the US Department of Agriculture, which is pretty interesting. This program usually means Uncle Sam is taking on a lot of the risk. Now, here's where things get spicy. GNCU sent a letter on August 6th saying that New Rise Reno had defaulted on these loans. They even got a letter about failing to fix past due payments. And because of all this, GNCU decided to accelerate the loans, meaning they wanted all the money back right away. As of August 5th, they said XCF Global owed them a whopping $130 million each. But wait, there's a twist. After some back and forth between lawyers on August 27th, XCF Global and GNCU signed something called a pre-negotiation letter. This basically means they agreed to talk about a solution. However, it's crucial to understand that this letter doesn't actually make them promise anything concrete about paying the loan. GNCU made sure to say they were still keeping all their options open. And then on the very same day, August 27th, GNCU sent another notice. This one was a notice of withdrawal. They were pulling back their previous notice that said the entire loan amount was due immediately. So that's a small win for XCF Global. However, GNCU was very clear that they were not backing down on the other issues. They still consider the company to be in default for other reasons, and the original demand to fix the missed payments from March still stands. So what's XCF Global doing about all this? They're in talks with GNCU hoping to work out a deal. This could include something called forbearance, which is like a temporary pause on payments or a new payment plan. All of this depends on XCF Global finding new financing and increasing their CF production to make enough money to cover their debts, including any late fees and penalties. They're also looking at refinancing the GNCU loan and payments they owe to their landlord for the New Rise Reno facility. This is a big deal because if they can't sort this out, it could really impact their whole business plan. The company is actively trying to find new money and get their SAF production humming. They believe that if they can secure this new financing, they can then refinance the GNCU loan and also take care of payments owed to the landlord for the property where the new Reno facility is located. But they openly admit there's no guarantee they'll actually agree with GNCU on acceptable terms or even get the financing they need. This report is a Form 8K, which is basically a way for companies to announce big news that isn't already reported. For XCF Global, this news is all about their financial struggles and the steps they're taking to try and stay afloat. One interesting point is that XCF Global is an emerging growth company. This usually means they are a newer company and have fewer regulatory requirements, which can be good for flexibility, but also means less public scrutiny. Their Class A common stock is traded on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC under the symbol SIFX. This means they are a publicly traded company and investors can buy and sell their shares on a major exchange. Now let's talk about the forward-looking statements section, which is pretty standard for these reports. It's basically the company telling you that their guesses about the future might not actually happen. They warn about risks and uncertainties, things like changes in the economy, political situations, unexpected increases in costs, and the possibility of legal troubles. They're being upfront that while they hope for the best, things could go very differently. Some of the key risks they highlight include their ability to get future financing and what kind of deals they'll get. They also worry about their New Rise Reno facility producing the expected amounts of SAF without any interruptions. And of course, resolving disputes with their landlord and their main lender are big concerns. This specific risk statement really emphasizes the difficulty they're having with their primary lender for the New Rise Reno facility. It directly points to the loan issues we've been discussing. Another risk they mention is that simply having to deal with all the requirements of being a public company might distract them from actually running the business. So what's my take on all of this? XCF Global is in a tough spot. They're trying to build a business in the important sector of sustainable aviation fuel, but they're struggling with a huge debt burden. The acceleration of the GNCU loan is a major red flag. While they've managed to withdraw that immediate demand for full payment, they're still in default on other terms. Their future success really hinges on their ability to look pretty uncertain. It seems like they're fighting a real battle to keep their operations going, and successfully ramp up their SAFAF production to generate enough cash to satisfy their creditors and their landlord. Without that crucial new money or a very favourable deal with GNCU and the landlord, their future looks pretty uncertain. It seems like they're fighting a real battle to keep their operations going. Alright, that's our breakdown of XCF Global's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.